data is telling us, we had 384484 procedures, 22 states covered. We had around 1100 surgeons across 491 hospitals. We all know why registries matter. It's about patient safety, quality improvement, policy and research, and of course, public trust. So here we are. If you look, we are primarily a knee, at least the registry shows that we are primarily a knee country. 92.4% of all our procedures were knee replacements and 7.6% were our hip cases. If you look at where the procedures happen, you'll see that there are few states, primarily Gujarat, Telangana, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, where the highest volume contribution happened for our cases. This is a brief of how this has happened, and on the right side you'll see that there are top 5 contributing hospitals which contributed a very large number to these cases. The knee story, if you look at the volume and mix, the primary TKR were 351534, so our revision contribution is only 1.1%, which is far below the 2% target. The Gujarat as a state dominated with around 30.4% of all knee procedures that were contributed to the registry. If you look at male and female distribution, roughly the same, a little difference here and there, and so true with BMI. The female had a slightly higher BMI than the male patients. The indications largely remained the osteoarthritis here. The other indications were quite low. Rheumatoid arthritis 1.1%, unknown were 0.3%. So largely it's been a primarily osteoarthritis that has been the reason for surgeries. If you look at the type of implants being used, the PS still remain here in a very high number of 71.6%. The unconstrained fixed is 17.9%, unconstrained mobile is 1.8%. Resurfacing. Now, the 52.2% of people did not resurface patella and 47.8 patellas were resurfaced. And if you look from the manufacturer perspective, most of the DEPU and the MAX surgeons tend to replace the patellas, whereas the other side, the Zimmer, the Stryker and the Smith & Nephew had lesser number of people replacing their patellas. Market thing, if you look, DEPU is the market leader, followed by the Max, Zimmer, Smith & Nephew. So this is sort of the contributing surgeon, may not be exact reflective of the situation, but the registry shows this is the contribution. Our knee revisions have risen away. There is a burden of revision which is increasing in 2026. A cumulative of around 4,000 knees were revised since the onset of the registries. The revision indication, the number one indication remained the aseptic loosening of femur at 22.2%, aseptic loosening of tibia at 15.3%, a dislocation in knees around 3%, which is slightly more than expected. The patella loosening was 2.2% and unexplained pain at only 2%, wear of polycomponent at 4.3%. and periprosthetic fractures at 2.5%. So an interesting mix here on the reason why the knees were revised. The hip stories, that was 7.6% of all the contributions of the registries. The primary THRs formed 92.7% of the hip procedures, 7.3% were revisions. The Maharashtra contributed the maximum number with 23.3% of all hip procedures contributed from this state alone. This is the map distribution of each state where the contribution came in from. Cumulative procedures, you have seen that both primary and revisions have increased over the years since the registry started, and today we have around 29,000 cases being contributed to the registry. Primary and revision both have risen in the same trend. The age distribution, I think that is something which again is an Indian specific thing. Our mean age for male is around 49.1%. and female is 55.1 years, and the BMI distribution is largely similar at 26 and 26.22. The indication, again, this is something very different from the Western world. 52.8% of people had THR for AVN, 4.3% had for ankylosing spondylitis. The failed fracture of neck femur formed an important chunk at 4.9%, and the osteoarthritis primarily had only 11.1% as the cause of getting a hip replacement done. Primary implant fixation largely tended to be cementless at 83.7%, hybrid in 7.8%, and cemented at only 6.8%. The practice evolution again corresponds to what the Western world is following, so we are moving more and more towards the 36 millimeter head with 29.3% having 36 millimeter head or more, and 43.2% for 32 millimeter head, and they may also be reflective of the size of the acetabular sockets that we have. So larger heads have definitely been in trend here in India as well. Market-wise, again, the DePuy had the maximum share of the contribution to the registry, and all of the others have so Zimmer at 14.4%, Stryker 13%, and Smith & Nephew at 7%. For the femoral component, this trend is also very similar. The cumulative hip revision again is rising over time, and the primary indications remains which is not classified as 55.1%. So there's no distinct reason said by surgeons on why they are revising hip, which is a bit strange. Operational insight, I think there are a lot of concentration and opportunities. All the data are concentrated by a few centers, which is the top 5 surgeons shares 47.8% of all the registries, and 40.6% come from top 5 hospitals. So again, that is something that we need to think about. The next leap for all of us will be integration with the ABHA, which is a unique patient ID, and a lot of our ISHKS members have working very hard to get this, and this is sort of where we are moving ahead. Of course, the registry means a lot for all of our stakeholders across surgeon, industry, hospital, and patients. In the end, I would always say that our scale is growing, the need dominates, there is concentration on the numbers, so it may not be entirely reflective, and I will request everyone to contribute to the registry. These are some of the references that we have, and this is sort of a report card where our volume are increasing, but our participation and data maturity has to reach a point where we can make a significant impression about what the registry is showing. Thank you.